Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my first trimester, all the symptoms that came along with it, some scary things that happened, and just everything that kind of happened in the first trimester. Today I'm officially in my second trimester and I'm so excited to have made it this far. Every day feels like a blessing with this baby in my belly, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because I had a lot of things happen and I don't want this video to be too long. So let's see. At 4 weeks, which was super early, like right after I found out, all I had was super sensitive nipples. Also, disclaimer, if you don't like hearing about pregnancy symptoms, if you're a guy, you probably don't even care about this stuff, so just leave this video. If you don't want to hear TMI, you definitely don't want to be watching this video. So anyways, had super sensitive nipples at 4 weeks and they felt like they had been scraped, and this is when cramping started. And the cramping was scary for me because it would be so bad that I would have to like hunch over and like lean over something and like breathe through it. Like it hurt so bad, and I was like, oh my goodness, I hope my period doesn't randomly start or that this is something bad happening. But other than that, no symptoms at all. And then at 5 weeks, so I'm having this cramping, right? This is happening pretty much on the daily, multiple times a day. At 5 weeks, I wiped and there was very light pink clear spotting only one time that day. This is on the 18th of August. On the 19th, we were at Lowe's. I go to the restroom and there was also very light pinkish brownish spotting. I freaked out. I called the doctor, and I had already been doing progesterone injections, 200 milligrams twice a week. Now they told me to add a progesterone suppository daily, every night. So they added this because of the spotting that was happening. So that was really scary. Seeing blood anytime that you're pregnant is scary because, you know, you automatically think miscarriage. But thankfully that stopped completely. It just was those 2 days. Once I put the suppository every day, I was fine. So at 6 weeks, that was the first time that I got nauseous for the first time. So I thought I'm gonna get lucky and not have any symptoms or any like nausea. That's probably my least favorite symptom, is because I hate throwing up. And at 6 weeks, other than the spotting, cramping, and nipples, like I didn't really have any symptoms. So it kind of freaked me out that I wasn't having any symptoms because I'm like, I don't even feel pregnant. Like, is something bad happening? And then my mom would tell me, like, I didn't have any symptoms with you, so maybe you're just going to be like me. And I would be like, oh, well, then maybe I'm going to be lucky. But I'm telling you, it was so hard to wait for my first ultrasound, which is not going to be until 8 weeks. So at 6 weeks is when I got nauseous for the first time. So surprise, I did not get lucky like my mom. I got nauseous for the first time that day, and that continued until further notice. Like even to this day, I'm still nauseous, but I'll get to some updates on the nausea in a minute. The only thing that would make me feel better at that point was Topo Chico with a beer salt. And so sometimes in the morning, I would just have Topo Chico with beer salt for breakfast, and that's literally what I would have until I felt better. At 7 weeks, I had 2 dizzy spells when I was laying down, and that was scary, but I don't think it had to do with my pregnancy because I did the Epley maneuver because I've had dizzy spells before, and that fixed it. So I don't think it had to do with that. Let's see, on August 29th, I threw up for the first time, but I had nothing to throw up. It was in the morning, and it was just like those gastric juices, and it was just gross. This is also the first day that I noticed I had like a meat and chicken aversion. So basically whenever I would be eating, my mind would like think, ew, you're eating chicken, you're eating meat. And I would just get so nauseous, I would want to throw up. And I would sometimes have to spit out my food. So that happened, and that started at that point, and that continued until it's barely getting better now. So that continued. I finally had my first ultrasound on September 2nd. The doctor did say that, or the ultrasound tech did tell me that my septate was still somewhat there. There was some kind of septate. They don't know if it grew back or if it was the same one or if it was just a piece of what I had left, but there was some kind of septate in my uterus. The baby's heart rate was 159 beats per minute. And yeah, that was a really exciting day, happy day. On September 6th, I threw up for the second time. So all these days, you know, I'm being nauseous every day, but this is the second time I throw up. So it's not like I throw up every day. It was just the meat aversion was every day and the nausea, but not the throwing up. So this is whenever the first scary thing happened. No, the second scary thing happened. I'm sorry. So I didn't have much nausea this day. And I felt very low energy. I remember I just came and laid on the bed and I just felt so low energy. I was even too tired to even be laying down. Like, I just felt like melting onto the bed. Like, I just felt like crap. And then I go to the restroom and there was like hot pink blood in the toilet and on the toilet paper when I wiped. Oh my god, that was so scary because this is not no spotting. This is blood, like blood in the toilet. And I freaked out. I called the doctor. She told me that since I had just had an ultrasound 5 days ago and the baby looked great, she wasn't too concerned. But if it got worse or I got cramping, to give her a call back. I had very, very little cramping, so that was another reason she wasn't concerned. I said my boobs were so tender that night, so that was a symptom. But also I was kind of concerned, like, why is my nausea gone and the only symptom I have is my boobs are tender, and then I'm having this spotting. So that was a very scary day. I freaked out. Like, I was like literally thinking the worst again. It's so scary whenever you see blood, like I said. So anyways, that was my second scary episode. So it was scary, really scary, and then I'll tell y'all about the really, really scary. So let's see, just tender boobs. At 9 weeks, I put my hips hurt today. Could it be my hips are already expanding? I don't think so. I think that was just a random day of my hips hurting because it didn't continue. Let's see. I went to the doctor on September 13th. The baby's heart rate was at 170 beats per minute. Baby was measuring right on track at 9 weeks, 4 days. And they took blood to check me for any genetic disorders that I could carry. And they did not do a pap smear, and they checked my progesterone. I had lost 14 pounds since March. So that tells you I was really not having my appetite like I normally do. I've struggled with my weight for a while, and with this pregnancy, the weight has just come off so fast because of the nausea, my meat aversion, like almost everything I'm not like vegetarian, so everything I eat I feel like has meat, so I'll take a couple bites and I can't really stomach the rest. I'm not really as hungry. I get full really fast. If I eat more than just enough to keep me satisfied, I will get very nauseous. So yeah, I had lost 14 pounds since March. But I put not surprised with all the nausea. So this is the third time I threw up. It was on September 18th. Again, just gastric juices. This day was scary. So this is at 10 weeks. So that day, I felt like a full aching feeling like in my uterus area. Almost like when you're going to start your period, but it's not full on cramps. It's just kind of like discomfort. So I remember telling Fabian about it, and then that day we were gonna go out with his cousins to dinner and for them to have some drinks. And anyways, I felt like something came out of me, and I'm like, it's probably just discharge. And we were in line waiting to get into the place we were going to dinner, and I would go to the restroom and there's like a brown spot on my underwear. That was scary. And then I wiped and there was light pink and mainly brown discharge. So I told Fabian, should we go home? And then I was like, you know what, how about if I go to the restroom again and there's more spotting, we'll go home, but if, you know, it might just stop. So that's what we decided to do. We finally went home. I'm just gonna read this because this is like really scary, and I just want to read what I typed out. So I put scary incident. The date is a technicality. It was the night of the 18th, but it was around 2, so it was officially the 19th. When we got home, I had bright red blood on some toilet paper I had put in my underwear. So when I was at dinner and out with them, they were having drinks and stuff. I was like, if I'm spotting and I had purple underwear on, I wouldn't be able to see it. So I put toilet paper because I didn't have a pad or anything. So I get home, I take that toilet paper off, and I had bright red blood on the toilet paper. And as soon as I pulled down my pants, blood was gushing down my leg. It was seriously the scariest thing I've ever gone through. Fabian and I immediately freaked out. I called the doctor. She said if I had more blood than a pad per hour, severe cramping, or a clot bigger than a quarter, to go to the emergency room, but otherwise to just rest, and she would see me on the 20th, which was 2 days, or basically technically the next day. It's because this was officially Sunday morning, so she would see me the next day. Fabian went to go get me pads since I had none. I put one on and I had 0 blood throughout the night on my pad. I peed when I woke up around 6 and I had tiny flecks of tissue mixed with my pee. Later on, I woke up at 9:30 a.m. and I passed a clot a bit smaller than a quarter. It was dark brown. That definitely scared me. I sent it to the doctor through the portal, and she said it wasn't big enough or enough blood to go to the ER, so she would see me the next day. The rest of the day, I just rested literally all day, only got up to eat once and to go to the bathroom. Most bathroom breaks, I had maybe a tiny spot of blood. Later in the evening, I had more brown spotting, but still very small amounts. I have had a dull but annoying headache most of the day, praying for a good outcome in the morning. Nervous because I think when I slept last night, I didn't really have any vivid dreams that I can remember, and barely if at all nausea, and my boobs didn't hurt at all. Hopefully it's just because I'm focusing on other symptoms / a different situation. My mom came and cooked for me and helped with tidying up the house and doing my laundry. She's a saint. We watched the Cowboys game and a movie. So that was so scary. I cannot describe how scary that was. That incident was so scary, just to see all that blood coming out of me. So much more than the first 2 times. And on top of that, just it was just it was terrifying. I literally thought we lost this baby 100% for sure, like no doubt in my mind. It was literally, oh my god, I just thinking about it makes me emotional, and it takes me back to that day, and so scary. I googled all night. I was convinced I had a subchorionic hematoma or hemorrhage. Well, I go to the doctor the next day. I had lost 21 pounds so far since before I was pregnant. I was really shocked about that because that was a lot of weight. I hadn't really noticed it. So I said, thank God, as soon as the ultrasound started, we saw baby C wiggling around and heart was 170 beats per minute. We immediately teared up and thanked God for hearing our prayer. Dr. King explained that I have a bleed / tissue on one side of my uterus and baby on the other side unbothered. She said she could send me to a high-risk doctor for a second opinion, and I said, yes, please. I am so happy today. So yeah, basically because of that tissue that I have in the middle of my uterus, baby is on one side, and then this side had like tissue, almost like whenever that tissue that you shed when you're on your period. So for some reason this side had some tissue. She couldn't really explain to me why, because she's like, I've never really seen this. So if you want a second opinion, go to the high-risk doctor. So my appointment for that is actually tomorrow, so we'll see what happens then. Let's see. Then the day 2 days after that, I had some light pink spotting at the very end of the day, and I had cleaned my house like top to bottom that day, and I had gone to church that day. So I wondered if me not taking it so easy was causing more spotting. So anyways, then at 11 weeks, which this is during the 11-week period, on September 24th, I had spotting again. I didn't do much that day, so I was confused as to why it was continuing to happen. On the 28th of September, I had more brown spotting. And that day I said, today is the first day I was not as nauseous. Not 100% gone yet, but I think I'm still about 20% nauseous today and still have an aversion to chicken. I was craving Cane's, but the chicken was just not sitting well with me. So that's whenever my nausea kind of started getting better. Then I had my blood work results come back, and they were finally where they wanted them to be, but they told me to just continue my suppositories because of what I had been going through and just lower my dose for the injections. 12 weeks, I reached 12 weeks, thank God. Probably only 5% nauseous today, if that, and only when I start overeating. Still had weird dreams, so I'm not worried. Basically saying just because my symptoms going away does not mean I'm not really worried. I mean, it means I'm not really worried because I'm still having weird dreams, which I've been forgetting to mention. Every day since I got pregnant, I've been like having the weirdest dreams. Like, I cannot describe how weird these dreams are. Like, things that I would never think of, people I would never think of, like just really weird dreams. On October 1st, I put headaches have started and also allergies. I think it might be the weather causing the allergies, but if I have them every day, I will update when they stop unless I don't have a headache tomorrow. Well, the headaches have continued since that day. Today is the 14th, and I have had a headache every single morning since then. At 13 weeks, I woke up in the middle of the night and I had like pain on my left side, kind of like my hip area. I couldn't tell if it was my hip or if it was like round ligament pain. It only lasted like that night and then that day, so I don't know what that was. And that brings me to yesterday. I had another appointment for my checkup with my regular doctor. I had lost, I think, 1 more pound, or had it stayed at what I had said last time. I got to listen to the heartbeat, and it was, according to the doctor, about 150 beats per minute. And that is pretty much it. I have been documenting my belly, but I don't know if I'll share that with y'all. Maybe I will show y'all a little belly shot right now. I am finally 14 weeks. It's hard to tell with this dress too, but it's very small, if anything. Plus, I was already chunky before, so it's hard to tell. Anyways, that is pretty much it for my first trimester recap. Tomorrow's my high-risk appointment, my first high-risk doctor appointment. So we'll see how that goes. I will continue to document in my phone, and I will probably either update at the end of my second trimester, or I will update every 2 weeks or every month. I'm not really sure. Maybe if y'all have any suggestions on how often I should update, just let me know. But yeah, our gender reveals next week on the weekend, and I'm just so excited about that. I think it's a boy, and so do most of our family members, but I will be so happy with either one. I just want to know what the baby is so we can start thinking of names and buying stuff, and I'm just really excited for that. But yeah, we have definitely been through some scary things throughout this first trimester, but overall, God has blessed us. God has gotten us through every obstacle, and as long as our baby's growing healthy, that's all that matters to us, even if we have to go through tough things. So I will probably do another video updating on what the high-risk doctor says, and of course I will be uploading footage from the gender reveal. So anyways, that's all for now. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.